Hello, welcome. My name is Udapriya and I am a silk artist. I am also a decorative painter, one stroke certified. So today I'll be showing you the basics of silk painting and what you need, and we'll be doing some basic techniques. We need a piece of silk and we need a frame, or if you have any of this embroidery hoop, that also works. You can use the embroidery hoop. For today's thing I'm going to use a frame. This is actually a canvas, so you remove the fabric of the canvas and use it as a frame. And then we'll be using some silk paints and some water, paper towels and a gutta. Silk paints, what I'm using is Marabu. We also have different kinds. We have Dynaflow, we have Seta silk, and we have the dyes. So these are the paints. Today's class I'm going to use just the paints. I'm going to use Marabu paint. So these are the ones I showed. This is Seta silk and this is Dynaflow. I'm using blue, light blue, dark blue, yellow and red. And guttas are from different companies. We have Marabu, Pebio. This is Marabu, this is Pebio. We have water-based gutta. And we also have the resistant. I'll be using Marabu. So some silk, frame, paints, gutta, water and some paper towels. So these are things we need. To start with, I'm going to use the frame and adhere the silk onto the frame using push pins. So what you do is, you have the silk on top of this, and then using push pins, these are the push pins, you're going to put it on all the four sides and make it taut. I've already done this here. I'm using an empty frame, canvas. This is actually a canvas, so I've removed the backing and I put the silk onto it. So this is nice and taut. Now we'll do 3-4 different techniques. The first, for that I'm going to draw 4 circles. So I'm going to use this to draw circle, a tape and then a pencil. Using pencils I'm drawing 4 circles. So I have the 4 circles here. Now using the gutta, I'm going to draw over it. This, when you apply paint over here, it's going to start spreading. So to prevent the paint from the dyes or paints from spreading, you draw this gutta lines. The gutta lines act as a barrier and stops the paint from going out of the circle. So let's take quality and try it out. So once it starts flowing properly, you're going to go over the circle. Try a couple of times and before drawing it. See to it that there is no gaps. If there is a gap, when you apply the dye, it's going to seep out. So you need to block all of them. all the lines has to be continuous and there should not be any gaps, and it should not be thick. You want it to be thin and consistent. Leave it for a few minutes to dry. So before you start using the gutta, always check to see on a piece of paper whether it is coming out correctly. And then you can start doing the gutta lines. I'm going to use a small palette and I'm going to take out one color for a full wash. First we'll be doing a full wash of a color. So I'm going to take out any paint. So I'll use the Seta silk. I added a couple of drops here and then using a round brush, full wash is applying one color to the whole surface. So I'm going to dip it. And then apply. And see how this paint spreads. You don't want to go very close to the line. Just go near it and it will start spreading. Now we'll be doing a gradient. So when you want from light to dark, you use water as a light color and the whatever color you want to add as a darker color. So we will do a gradient from light to dark. So I'm going to wash my brush and wipe off on a paper towel. Now I need some clean water. I'm going to use some clean water. So you're going to do a wash. So wash from light to dark. And the water is considered as a light. So you apply 3/4 of it as a water. Because I already had little water, it's coming up as a light color. Now I'm going to add the darkest color here. And then wipe off the brush now. And then blend it in between the two colors. Wipe off the brush and then blend it where the two colors. Wipe off the brush and blend it from light to dark. This is a gradient wash. Now we'll see how to blend two colors. I'm going to use light blue and dark blue. So I'm going to start with the light blue. And then use the dark blue on this side. And where the two colors meet, you can wipe off your brush and then blend it. The next one we'll do is adding some salt. So now let's add two colors to make a third color. We're going to add red and blue to make purple. So I'm going to go with, first wet my brush. I'm going to add red over here. And blue at the bottom. Now wipe off the brush and then at where the two colors meet, you're going to blend it. Wash it, wipe off and then blend it. Again wash it, wipe off the brush and blend it. So you have red, blue and the purple color in between. Now what will happen if I add some salt to this? So before I'm going to add some water to wet the whole surface. And then I'm going to add some salts. You need to add the salt before it dries. So like this you can experiment and learn the basics. So this is a flat wash, this is a gradient wash from light to dark. This is a blending of two colors, and this is blending two colors to make a third color, and also salt effect. Once you have tried this, we can go to the next step of doing a small design. I'm going to paint some flowers. Let it dry and I'll show you how it looks once the salt and the paint dries. If you have Jacquard silk salt, you can use it. If not, you can use any kind of salt or sugar to try out this experiment.